Welcome into A to Z Sports Prime Time on this Monday night, Monday, October the 13th. I am sick of the shit, and apparently so are the Tennessee Titans because they fired Brian Callahan today. Now, does that solve all your problems? Forgive the bare bones look. We were going to do it at the facility. They waited around. They dicked us around for a 7:30 press conference. I don't know if we got any actual answers to why this thing looks the way that it does. I don't know that we feel any better about why this thing looks the way that it does, but we're a guerrilla operation tonight. We were going to do it at the facility. Titans came in and said, nah, brother, for what you're about to say, what we know you're about to say, we would respectfully ask for you to do this elsewhere. So I tried to do it on the curb outside the facility. I said, you know what? I live 10 minutes from the damn practice facility. I'm just going to go home and we're going to knock this shit out because it has been one hell of a day for the local professional football team. And at this point, I think we have more questions, again, than we do answers. Welcome into A to Z Sports Prime Time. We are very glad to have you. Share the broadcast around. Tell all your Titans friends. We're doing the whole 9 yards tonight. Brian Callahan fired. Mike McCoy interim. Amy Adams Strunk nowhere to be found. Shit, Chad Brinker is making statements on her behalf at the press conference. In fact, we are so far removed from Amy Adams Strunk being a visible, tangible, real person with this organization that she's not even making a statements anymore on the fired coach. That's Chad Brinker, which again is just absolutely insane. So press conference started about an hour ago, ended about a half hour ago, and we're ready to rock. Text the link to a friend, retweet it on Twitter, wherever you're hanging out with us this evening, and we will play for you the nonsense that we just experienced, because it is a never-ending sequence of nonsense around here, but God knows it gives us something to talk about on the Primetime program. Welcome into A to Z Sports Primetime from the palatial Rising estate that looks a little more bare bones because I didn't have time to make a graphic tonight, but I am your host, Buck Rising, and I am proud, as always, to be presented to you by the wonderful people at Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer. Can't trust your football team. I'm going to play for you the question that I asked Chad Brinker about why Titans fans should trust him. But I know you can trust Two Rivers because they've been in business for over 4 decades. By TrueMath Fitness in the Gulch, where you go for your first workout free as a Middle Tennessee resident. No workout ever recycled or repeated. TrueMathFitness.com for more details. They're there to serve you. And Simon Says you'll be serving looks when you go to shop at Simon Says Nashville. SimonSaysNashville.com, the best men's clothing spot anywhere, really anywhere, generally, but certainly in Middle Tennessee. SimonSaysNashville.com for more details. Robert, you may ask Austin if he could, if he might be willing to make a quick graphic for me, since I know Austin Stanley was kind enough to wait around, because I do think that it kind of looks like shit when I don't have a graphic around me. But that's not the point. You're not here for the aesthetics of what happened today. You're here for what the hell happened today. So we're wrapping up the radio show, and same old song and dance. I fly back from Las Vegas last night. I landed about 1 a.m. this morning. I go in to do the radio show, and I'm not expecting necessarily for the Tennessee Titans to fire Brian Callahan. Nobody was expecting today. I don't even think they were expecting today. Well, I think one person had her mind made up, but the rest of them, given that it took them 7 hours between the time that they fired this coach to the time that they finally gave this press conference, I think everybody got caught with their guard down on how this entire situation played out. So Brian Callahan, as the radio show's ending, we do the whole radio show. We're like, they are who we thought they were. Arizona win was a fluke. What they did against the Raiders is disgusting. Brian Callahan is offering us explanations last night as to, in his opening statement, essentially saying it is what it is. And then Cam Ward and Jeffrey Simmons are telling us that it was their worst week of practice, coming off their first success. And God knows this football team in the last 2 seasons just is allergic to handling success at any way, shape, or form. Brian Callahan's resume to be fired has been building for quite some time. So they finally pulled the trigger. And I guess Amy looked around and said, no, Mike Vrabel's not going to beat me with this. If I'm going to go down swinging, at least I'm going to fall on my own sword here before the sword can get stuck in my back. I don't even think it's going to get stuck in her back. I think it's going to get shoved right through the front when the Patriots come to town on Sunday. But she said, no. I'm not gonna go down with this I almost said a bad word, or maybe an inappropriate word. This flaccid coach and this flaccid football team that's averaging less than 2 touchdowns per game, that has only scored 1 first half touchdown all damn season long. No. It's not going to be me. I'm not going to go out this way. If Mike Vrabel's going to get me, he's not going to get me with this guy. And so they make the decision, and they spend all day trying to figure out, okay, who on the staff is staying? Is Dad going to still have a job? Is Bill Callahan going to continue to coach? Answer, no. Who else on the staff is changing? Apparently, Mike McCoy is going to talk to us Vultures tomorrow, and Mike McCoy is going to have some additional staff changes to be made. You have a situation then where you're trying to figure all this out, and it takes them 7 hours, literally 7 hours, to get in front of us and to explain why the decision happened now, what prompted the decision, why they decided to ride with Brian Callahan into this season anyway, when there was some reason to believe that they weren't fully invested in Brian Callahan this year. And the line was that they were excited to see how he could grow as a coach. Turns out, nope, 3-14 was pretty damn real, boys. And you're in a situation where it's not getting better. In fact, it's actively getting worse. And then you have the players speaking, not out, but expressing their agitation or their disappointment in a bad practice week coming off their only win of the season, one of few and far between that they may exactly have. And we are in a situation where we're looking around, and saying, okay, well, why are you taking so much time to do this? What is the issue here that is causing the Tennessee Titans to scramble around as if they didn't know that this was going to happen at some point? Boys and girls, it took them damn near 4 hours to decide that Mike McCoy was the interim. So how on earth do you make the decision to fire Brian Callahan without the plan in place to make sure that you can announce the interim at the time that you're going to make the firing, that you're ready to answer our questions at the time, or at least in a reasonable time frame? Tonight was not a reasonable time frame to answer our questions about the firing. And then to try and, in some of these comments, and listen, I get Chad Brinker's going to try and diffuse or deflect as many questions as he can. God love Mike Borgonzi. He didn't need to be up there. This guy's just along for the shit show that is the new franchise that he signed up to general manage. Chad Brinker tried to make it about the Patriots, where we're pouring everything that we can into Mike McCoy. We're trying to get ready for the Patriots. We got the Patriots coming to town, this, that, and the other. They didn't give a shit about the Patriots. They didn't give a single solitary shit about the Patriots tonight. It's 7:30 p.m. I want to know why you fired your coach and why this makes sense now and why you are going to fix it. And I don't know if we got any of that accomplished in the press conference, but damned if we didn't try. So your Two Rivers Ford take, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch in the comment section is where you go to get involved. Please, please, please tell me what your reaction to the Titans firing of head coach Brian Callahan was earlier today. Where were you? How did you receive the news? Were you happy? Were you sad? Were you disappointed? What was your reaction for the Tennessee Titans firing Brian Callahan today after preaching all offseason long, patience over panic? You can get involved in the commentary. Austin is going to do me the courtesy, sweet angel, of, I airdropped that to myself instead of texting it to Austin. There we go. I'm going to text that to Austin so he can whip me up a graphic post haste, and I do appreciate his efforts on that. But while I explain to you, or while I get ready to play for you, we've got 4 or 5 clips here. 5 clips here. I held up 10 fingers, but 5 clips here that I'm going to show you from tonight's press conference that just concluded. But I'm going to do that right after I remind you that the Primetime program is, of course, presented by the people that you trust. Don't trust the Titans, but you trust Two Rivers Ford. They're there to help you. They've been doing so for over 4 decades. Quality American-made Ford vehicles and award-winning customer service is what they offer you. Go to Two Rivers Ford in Mount Juliet or online at tworiversford.com for more details. Lucky for y'all, I got a lot to say, so we're going to keep the read short. We're going to keep it moving. So that's not the right graphic. So where to even begin with tonight's press conference? Because it started off with a statement, an opening statement from Chad Brinker. And listen, you're entitled to react to this however you want to react to this. But this is how Chad Brinker got to the podium, president of football operations, with Mike Borgonzi, who looked like a hostage, and answered questions about why they fired the coach this week that is currently, or that ends his Titans tenure, 4-19.
Yeah, I've said this before, and I'm going to say this again. The NFL is a good business, but at the same time, it's a tough and unforgiving business. There are days where this game brings us great joy. There's also days where it's tough, and today's one of those days. Brian Callahan is, as you all know, is a man of high character. He's a good man. He's a good football coach. He's got a wonderful family, and Amy has entrusted me to make tough decisions in this organization. And working with Mike and I and meeting with her this morning and talking through all this, we just felt like this was the right time to make a change. Now, that doesn't change the fact that the things that we said in the preseason about, we were looking for growth in this football team. And that's what this is about right now, is we're not seeing enough growth from this football team. We're 1-5, and we got to be better in this. And I want to acknowledge the fact that we're all frustrated. We understand that you, the fan, you're frustrated with everything that's going on. But we're doing everything we can. We will do everything we can to build a football program that you can be proud of. So we do want to wish Brian Callahan and his family the very best. These things are tough because there's relationships involved. There's a human element to all this, so it doesn't make it easy. But we know at this time where we are as a football program, we needed to make a change because we got to start growing and getting better.
Whatever, man. Like, I don't know what it fixes. I don't know what it means. I don't know how you guys – and listen, how do you receive that as a fan? How do you receive that as a fan? Because he's talking to you. He's talking through us to you. He knows we've all got our cameras up. He knows that this is going to go on television and live stream and social media after the fact. He's talking to you. So with all the different things that they have done so far, what gives you the confidence that they are going to be able to get this right? And that's been my question the whole way through. It's the thing that I am most annoyed by if I'm talking about just covering the Tennessee Titans, because all of this seems like a tremendous waste of time. And the thing that irks me most about this is that it doesn't seem that this was a part of the plan. And yes, of course, the growth and the development is something that we all expected there to be growth. We expected them to be a lesser football team, but we did expect there to be reasonable growth from the Tennessee Titans under Brian Callahan. He deserved to get fired. Nobody's disputing this, okay? Nobody's disputing this at all, that Brian Callahan did not deserve or deserved to get fired based on all the things that he has not been able to accomplish. Mike Vrabel has as many wins in one season, 6 games as the Patriots coach as Brian Callahan does in 23. It's unacceptable. And I know the Mike comparisons are going to be exhausting this week, and God knows he's going to enjoy the shit out of this on Sunday. I am looking at this situation and saying, well, why was it so rash? Why was it so rushed? Why did everything feel scattered? It's because she made the decision and they went along with it. And I asked today from at the start of the press conference, who made the decision? Did you all advise her to make this decision? Like, did you personally recommend that was the case? And Brinker deferred and said, we make these decisions together. We meet every Monday after games, this, that, and the other. And that's fine. That's all well and good. But at the end of the day, where's the statement coming from? It's coming from Chad Brinker. Chad Brinker is the one who was putting out the statement on behalf of the team. He's been empowered to speak for ownership. Amy Adams Strunk isn't even a real person anymore. She's just like an idea, right? It's not a real thing. So it's just this constant shuffling of the deck where we are now. We're not even 4 years in with 4 fired executives or coaches, 2 GMs, 2 head coaches in less than 4 years' time, and everybody looking around for the woman who's running this team or who owns this team. She's somewhere at home watching a live stream press conference like the rest of you. She's not answering questions about this shit. She's not even making statements anymore. So, like, for Brian Callahan, I'm happy for him. Take your money, take your buyout money, go on and enjoy life elsewhere because, brother, this place has been a time suck. Nobody has succeeded here for quite some time. And it is entirely a creation of their own making for the Tennessee Titans to be in this situation, for the Tennessee Titans to have imploded them the way that they did from perennial playoff contender to what this thing has become now. And it is an absolute mess from start to finish that Brian Callahan now he gets out. He gets to be free. He gets to move on. The rest of them, though, that made the mistake to hire him, that Burton Idaho clip that we've played on the radio show time in and time out, where he's on the morning show for 104.5. He's talking about, we thought we got the Brian Callahan hire right. We know we crushed it before 2024 or during 2024 training camp, 4-19. Like, whew, unbelievably bad from start to finish. So now Brian Callahan's gone. Now who are you going to blame? It needs to be flushed from top to bottom. Thank you, Austin. I appreciate that. It needs to be flushed from top to bottom. Brian Callahan, just like Rand Carthon. Brian Callahan got fired today. Rand Carthon got fired last year. Mike Vrabel got fired before that. But there's plenty more people who are making bad decisions, and they're somewhere out there in the ether. And Chad Brinker's the next head on the chopping block, right? He's the next person in front of us. Good luck, Mike McCoy. This is not an easy job, not an enviable job for anybody at this point in time. A to Z Sports Prime Time. Before we get to more Brinker cuts, because I'm gonna hit you guys over the head with them heavy tonight. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and on Twitch in the comments section. What was your reaction to Brian Callahan's firing today, and how did you feel the Titans handled it at their press conference just about an hour ago, less than an hour ago? We will discuss these things together right after I remind you that the Primetime program is made possible by the wonderful people at Simon Says Nashville. You're going to be dressing right. You're going to be serving looks. You're going to be as confident as you've ever been because you are going to be rocking the Simon Says Nashville gear, and it's unlike anything you will find anywhere else. SimonSaysNashville.com is where you go to make sure that you have all the best looks, that you make sure you're dressed for success. They'll take care of you at SimonSaysNashville.com for more details. All right, so what was your reaction? We can read a handful of comments. Thank you, Jake, rather. Austin, Jake, everybody's helping me out here tonight because it's been a scramble drill because 2:30 press conference canceled. What time is the press conference? We have no idea. 7:30 press conference, kick rocks. Like all this kind of shit. Brendan said, did y'all ask about the Jarvis trade? Man, I give a shit about Jarvis Brownlee today. Like, God knows when the next time we're going to see about Mike Borgonzi, but like, no, don't care about Jarvis Brownlee. Jarvis Brownlee, small potatoes. There's a million other things that need to be asked tonight that is not Jarvis Brownlee related, although he's probably not much happier. He's on the damn New York Jets at this point in time. So as we look at all the different things that have been the moves that have been made here, again, I asked the question, where is Amy Adams-Strunk? I didn't ask that question. Paul Kaharski asked that question. It was awkward as hell.
Where is she right now?
Where? What do you mean?
Where's Amy Adams-Strunk right now?
Yeah, she's at her home.
Why isn't she here?
I'm here representing her.
So that is Chad Brinker representing Amy Adams-Strunk, who, again, is more of an idea than an actual person to Titans fans at this point in time. And then we can follow that up with why they decided to fire Brian Callahan this week. This one's a short one, too.
I think it was just continuous, frustration of, getting things going. And that's why, we decided to make the move right now.
How much did you consider?
So Mike Borgonzi, again, man of few words in this particular situation, did not have much to say. Should not probably have been up there, but somebody's hell. Chad Brinker was asking him if he would like to take some questions at some point in time because Brinker was getting all the heat from us because he's ownership, not really, but he's representing ownership. So why aren't you the one answering all of these questions? We have no questions for Mike Borgonzi. Mike Borgonzi just got here. It's completely irrelevant almost than Mike Borgonzi. Now, they made the decision because they're not seeing enough growth from the football team. So here is how they answered how they would define growth for the football team.
Into wins and losses, what does growth look like to you?
Yeah, I think, when you look at whether it's offense, defense, or special teams, there's some areas where we have grown. I think the special teams have played pretty well this season for the most part. Denard Wilson's done a good job, as far as the defense is concerned. We've struggled on offense. I mean, that's not a secret. And we need to be better there on that side of the ball. But I think there's growth opportunities all throughout the roster, whether offense, defense, or special teams. But we need to see more from our players, from our coaches, and we got to get better. There's a standard that we're trying to uphold here moving forward, and we're just not meeting that standard. I don't know if you want anything to add there, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, we all have to do a better job here, and we need to see continuous growth throughout the entire organization, really. Go ahead.
What's the status of the assistant coaches? Do you guys know which will be returning and which may not be?
Mike will address that tomorrow in his press conference.
Right now, obviously looking for some sort of a spark, but how will you judge that spark now between now and the end of the season? What do you hope this move leads to this year?
Yeah, I'd like to see our quarterback play be better. Like to see the offense, be consistent, more consistent, moving the football. I think I want to see improvement in the defense and offense. But again, we all know what it looks like when we see it. When you see that you're playing complementary football, that the offense and the defense and special teams are playing off of each other. We have yet to put together a complete game in a long time. So, there's a lot of work to do for everyone in this organization.
So that's Chad Brinker and just a few words from Mike Borgonzi. Again, the looking over at Mike Borgonzi and saying, Mike, I don't know if you want to add anything to that because Brinker just needs a drink of water, man. It's just, woo. I don't know what to do with them. I genuinely don't know what to do with them. I don't know if Chad Brinker will be here. I don't know if Amy Adams-Strunk's going to get a wild hair after the Vrabel game and decides that everybody's going to get fired. I don't know that anybody should be in. I don't know that the franchise shouldn't just be shot into the sun for as long as they've gotten this year after year after year after year. It's just awful. And the thing that irritated me the most, Robert brought this up, and we were on the same wavelength as far as that goes. Like that Brinker at a certain point, thank God he stopped doing this, but he was trying to make it like, hey, we're pouring all our support into Mike McCoy, and we're getting ready for the Patriots game, as I mentioned. And at some point, like he just understood, we're not going to ask you about the Patriots game. I don't care about Mike McCoy. Whatever. Like, are you going to make him the head coach afterwards? I don't know what your plan is or who's sticking to the plan or whose plan it actually is and who, frankly, is making the decisions. Like, again, they would not provide us the clarity on, did you recommend this to Amy or did Amy come to you and say, enough of this shit. Enough of this lame-ass loser football shit. Enough. We don't know. All I know is I'm getting a statement from the president of football ops instead of the owner. All I know is the owner wasn't even there for Mike Borgonzi's press conference. All I know is I've seen Amy Adams-Strunk physically. I saw her in Arizona. I've seen her at every game. She's there. She's a real person. I swear to God she is. But what are her thoughts on all of this? I have no idea. It is. I wish that you guys deserve better. You guys deserve better. And the reason why the Patriots thing irked me, or why making it about this week and the preparing for the football game ahead or whatever irked me, is because it was like trying to get our eye off the ball. How dumb do you think we are? How dumb do you think your fans are? Like, it's like Burke Nihill not understanding. Burke Nihill, the president of the football team, Burke Nihill, president of business, Chad Brinker, president of football, right? But Burke obviously has input in football. He's the team CEO and president. Burke Nihill getting ready to, doing the introductions for Mike Keith at the Ring of Honor before, what was that, during the Colts game? I think that they did that. I can't remember whatever the last home game was. Colts in week 3. And Burke Nihill getting booed vigorously. And Burke Nihill not understanding why he was getting booed. At least his facial expression didn't seem to understand why he was getting booed. Brother, they know who you are. You're not blameless, faultless in all this shit. They know who all of you people are. And just because you keep this shell game going with John Robinson out, Rand Carthon in, Mike Vrabel out, Rand Carthon still in, Brian Callahan in, Rand Carthon out, Brian Callahan out, Mike Borgonzi in. Like, what? They know who you are. The Titans fans know ball. They know who all of the heads of state of the current administration who have tanked this thing to the bottom, and the bottom hasn't seemed to fall out completely yet. But God, we're close. The idea that they would treat us and you like we don't understand, or that they have grander plans that we can't possibly see, because how could the simple mind, how could the simple media mind, how could the simple fan mind not comprehend what the hell it is that you're doing? All I know is you're 4-19 with this head coach, and that Mike Vrabel didn't have a glowing record of success when he lost 7 straight and went 6-12, or not 6-12, 6-11 his final year. But at least they fought, and at least they won games that they had no business winning. In this shit, you just lay down and die every week. Or you need the Cardinals to do just have as stupid a fourth quarter as could be found anywhere in the NFL at any point this season. I would argue anywhere in football, for you just to be able to win a game by 1. I don't get it. Ramon Foster in the comment section says, let's see, you said, you ain't said shit, Buck. He said they got 9 rings. Oh, okay. So let's get to that exchange, because I very much enjoyed. Oh, yes, your 9 rings. I'm very happy for your 9 rings that Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers. Did you get those 9 rings, or did your quarterbacks get you 9 rings? Or your coaching staffs at the time? Did Andy Reid get you your 9 rings? Respectfully. Like, I know football's a team effort, but you got to bleep off with that shit. Let's get to that. Well done by Ramon, transitioning for me, because I'm just a mad dog right now. I've got too many directions to go with. Ron Slay, this is the Buck I'm looking for. You got it. You got it, baby. Live and in person. You got it. Pissed off, tired, back from Vegas. You got it. I'm just glad I haven't dropped an F-bomb tonight. We're going to try and keep that in the box for the evening. Anyway, let's get to the exchange, because I'm tired of people getting up there and saying a bunch of shit that doesn't matter. And that's what I felt I got more of tonight, because I don't have any clarity. I don't know if they're going to be any better. I get that they had to make a change, and Brian Callahan deserved to get fired. But again, the people who hired Brian Callahan are still all in their jobs, except for Rand Carthon. And they already got him, and they already got Callahan. So who's next on this list? Well, that would be Chad Brinker. And I wanted to ask Chad Brinker why on earth fans should trust him, because he has now been a part of 3 different firings.
Yeah, I've been entrusted to do this job, and that's all I can say is we're going to work to get this right. Both Mike and I come from places where we've won a lot of football games. We got a front office that I think between all of us, we got 9 Super Bowls. We've seen what winning football looks like, and we know what that looks like. So we're going to do everything we can to support the staff currently. Our players. It's still early in the season, and there's a lot of work to be done. There's still a lot of football to play. So I think we're just as frustrated as our fans are. And like I said in the opening statement, we're going to get this right. And we're going to build a football program that everyone can be proud of. And we're acknowledging right now it hasn't been good enough. And that's why we're up here answering these questions, because we haven't been good enough, and we're committed to getting better.
Okay. Okay. I mean, sure. Whatever. Where's Amy? It's just enough. Just enough of the words. The press conferences don't mean anything. I know they have to give them. I know I waited around way too long today for them to get their act together, for that to indeed be the case. But damn, just do it already. I don't care what your plan is. I don't care how many different plans you've burned through. I don't care how many people you have to fire. Just fix it, or you're next. He's been here since 2023. Bert Nihill's been in his role since this entire shit started falling downhill, and Amy Adams Strunk is off on a horse farm or a walnut farm, or no, I believe it's a pecan farm at this point in time, watching a press conference from home. Maybe she's eating some candy pecans and be happy watching them flounder around, because she didn't have to answer these questions. But you know what? I can't think of a less I don't want to denigrate what Mike Borgonzi and Chad Brinker did, and I don't want to make Mike Borgonzi any part of this. Like, it's really the issue.
Have that effect.
The issue for me really is Chad Brinker. But I'm sorry, I'm not impressed at this point. I know you grinded to get to where you are. I know the life of a scout is miserable. I know that it's not high paying, and that once you get to one of these jobs with actual power and actual money, man, you get to form a football team the way that you think it should be formed. But again, 4-19. 4-19. There's not you don't impress me with your flex of 9 Super Bowl rings as an executive. I don't care. I simply don't. None of them belong to the Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans do not have a ring. Not a ring. And your owner, the last time she fired a head coach, said it's not good enough to win more games than you lose. But all you do is lose now. So where do I turn? What can I do? Chad, help me understand. What can I do with your 9, or, I know how many Borgonzi has? Is it 3? I can't remember exactly. Whatever. What can I do with your 9 Super Bowl rings for other franchises? Where can I put them? How does that translate into wins for the local professional football team that you're tasked with embracing? I know you've seen it in person. I know they've both seen it in person, but there are a million different reasons why whatever they had in Green Bay and Kansas City does not apply to their current situation right now. Woo! All right, that's really all I got tonight, guys. We only got about 4 minutes of reaction on the radio show today, and I've just been stewing and writing ever since all of this stuff happened. But you guys deserve better. That, at the end of the day, is what this is about. You guys deserve better, and they sure as shit aren't giving it to you. That's going to do it for us tonight. We do appreciate your participation. As always, quickly, a reminder that True Math Fitness in the Gulch is your place to work out in Middle Tennessee. No workout ever recycled or repeated. TrueMathFitness.com. They know you'll love it. That's why your first workout is free, because you will be hooked when you go. I can't possibly, I've got, plenty more time to stew on this. I got 3 more hours of radio due tomorrow. We gave Jason Fitz the day off of the radio show because it's just going to be you, me, Lucas, and Robert for 3 straight hours, and we're going to burn through this shit because there's plenty more to say. Mike McCoy. Oh, and this is the other thing. This is the other thing that needs to be mentioned. Mike McCoy is going to talk tomorrow. But the Titans sent out, and I want to read this to you before, because this matters for you. This matters for you. This matters for your level of information and you being informed on what it is that your football team is doing, and the fact that your football team does not want you as informed as you are currently being. So the release, we got a text from the head of PR, the head of football PR, Everett Gearlings, who is not somebody that I'm mad specifically at about this, but he is the person responsible for delivering us these messages. Okay, he sent us a text the other day saying that there would be a change or a refresher in the media policy on something that was obvious, but something that they've been meaning to address. And what they have now done is that they have changed the live streaming policy. So now, where we live stream the radio show, or we live stream the press conferences on the radio show and at least carry the audio, so if you guys can't see them, at least you can hear what the coach is saying, they have decided that they're not going to allow us to do that anymore. So I don't know if I'm going to get to carry Mike McCoy's press conference for you tomorrow, because they have decided that they want their fans to be less informed, that they want to give us, less ammo, less reaction, less ability to react live, which is nonsense. I can't possibly understand what their logic is. Now, the video stuff I do kind of get, like, whatever. Your cameras, your setup, your sponsors. Okay, the video rights is yours, but you're not going to let us carry the audio? Are you just looking for reasons for me to tee off on you more? Like, what kind of chicken shit behavior is that? Whomever made that decision, and I don't know who specifically made that decision, but somebody decided in that organization that they don't want their fans to hear from their coach anymore, probably because they're an embarrassment at every turn with these press conferences. But they want it to come exclusively from them. So you got to go to their social media channels to get all the shit that you're being served on a regular basis, as opposed to us, who, as the radio station, is the Titans' flagship station, but we can't carry press conferences anymore. At least that was the case as of tomorrow. So I don't know if they're going to fold on that. I know Our program director, Paul Mason, was having back and forth conversations because, again, Cumulus and 104.5 The Zone pays them good money, and God knows we're not getting any other value out of the idea that we are the Titans affiliate at this point in time. So no press conferences, no problem. I'll find something else to talk about. I think you guys are really at a loss because if you don't hear from Mike McCoy, where the hell else are you going to, or how the hell else are you going to learn about what his plan for Cam Ward is? You're going to go find their live streams? I suppose you can, but just weenie behavior after weenie behavior after weenie behavior, unserious football organization. Anyway, that's all I got tonight. I feel better. It's lovely to see you guys. Thank you all for hanging out. As always, we don't have a time on Mike McCoy's press conference, but we'll keep you updated. Like I said, 3 hours of not Sad Boy Radio tomorrow. It's Mad Boy Radio tomorrow, although I think I worked out a lot of steam tonight. I feel like I still got a little more in the tank. So we'll look forward to seeing you there. Appreciate you guys for waiting around. I'm sorry that it took so long to get it going. It's been a cluster of a day, but it's always good to see you guys. And leave a like on the video on your way out the door.
Go home! Go home! Go home! You're embarrassing Nashville! Go home!